Your Majesty, your timing is impeccable. I just thought to call for you. 'Tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray, let us speak out here. As I informed you when last we spoke, the palace is filled with the Queen Regent's sycophants. Should Disa denounce your Majesty as a false arisen, few would elect to doubt her. Yet if we are to prove your identity, I believe there is no occasion more suitable than the coronation. It was delayed so that the sovereign, that is, the false arisen, could convalesce in the palace, but the date has now been set. The central players in the court ought all be in attendance. 'Twould be a fine opportunity to display your Majesty's power. None would be able to deny that you are the true arisen then. There is a problem, however. Only select members of the nobility and citizens who have contributed greatly to Vermont's continued prosperity will be granted entry. If your Majesty is to be counted among them, you will need to attend to a number of tasks. Pray, allow me to summarize them for you. The citizenry have called upon my soldiers to cull monsters that plague the land. I dare say, 'twould be a fine contribution were you to accomplish these tasks unaided. What say you? Might I ask for your cooperation in this matter? I thank you, Your Majesty. There are 3 locales that have seen significant trouble of late. The first is Trevo Mine, to the northwest. We've had reports of goblins swarming in great numbers. Next is Half Village, west of Burnworth. I believe soldiers have already been dispatched to cull an infestation of saurians there. Finally, there is a call for someone to locate a group of soldiers tasked with delivering freight. They were last seen crossing the second bridge on the eastern edge of Vermont.
It is our duty to bring the
There is much we ought to attend to if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. You've done a fine job culling those monsters, Your Majesty. 'Tis common knowledge among the people that 'twas you who delivered them from danger. The number of those who seek out this tavern in the hope of an audience with the arisen grows by the day. Should you continue to display such valor, the day will soon come when Disa can no longer deny your presence. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. 'Tis a symbol of my own gratitude.
We have achieved our objective.
Indeed. You've culled more than your fair share of monsters. I expect tales of your valor will soon be told in taverns.
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. You will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Disa's misdeeds. I hesitate to ask something so dangerous of you, yet I have attempted to do the same through my own channels afore now, though I have yet to uncover so much as a whisper of her plots. Would that I could undertake the task myself, but my station prohibits me from reckless action. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation.
We're off to Burnworth Palace then.
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me. Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray forgive me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent King Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the Regent Kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I shall send word to Captain Brandt if I discover aught you should know. I'll head out first and speak with the Sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape.
Found in the Queen Regent's office. This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from Batal no less. This alone can prove little, but 'tis clear that Disa's schemes run deep. To think, Disa's actions have weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Disa is the doting mother before the Regent King. If Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Disa's focus, we may be able to gain more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I'm able to offer, I bid you, take this.
Seems we were right to suspect the Queen Regent. We ought to keep an eye on her in the days to come.
That's odd.
Queen Regent Disa appears to be working in concert with this Phasus fellow, but what precisely is their aim?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim. Of all those who serve the Queen Regent, there is but one who I have no doubt will lend his support to Your Majesty's cause. I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Disa demanded Waldar amend the Code of Vermont to her own benefit. And many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As a result, he now sits in a cell beneath the palace. Our laws dictate that Your Majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for Your Majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeon. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, Your Majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid.
Did you come over here?
Who are you?
No,
Then we are presented with three options. Either the law of our world that allows only one arisen has been upended, or Deeza's arisen is false, or you are lying to me. Have you proof that you are arisen, as you say? Ah, they say the Arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be, Escape? But why? Here, I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests. And I need not turn my ear to Deeza's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? I suspected as much. Then we are done here. Leave me be.
A place to quench one's thirst for knowledge, eh? I'll admit, 'tis an intriguing prospect.
Heavens above!
Isn't it amazing?
'Tis quite a finding. Why, I've ne'er seen. Might I ask that you not share? We cannot allow them. We ought to entrust its care to someone worthy, someone who can appreciate its true value. Pray, tell me if you know of such an individual. As for you, Malcolm, I forbid you from telling anyone else about this place. 'Twill be our little secret. Understand?
Oh, but...
However, let's investigate this place's secret.
Well, have you found some place I might sate my scholarly curiosities? Oh, to think such a place existed. Oh, very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own. Aye, this should be far enough. My thanks. If you truly are arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
A moment to speak.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. It seems Magistrate Wardor has been safely delivered from his cell. The man's dedication to justice shall doubtless be a great boon to our cause. mayhap 'twould be prudent to visit man on occasion and avail yourself of his vast stores of wisdom. He might have knowledge that could benefit you on your travels. Now, would you be so kind as to return the key I lent you? I thank you. Pray, take this. Consider it remuneration for your Majesty's efforts. There is much we ought to tend to. I bear word from Regent Ken Sven, Your Majesty. He espied the delivery of a suspicious package to a man named Allard, a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace. From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. We must get to the bottom of it. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, Your Majesty? Are you willing to undertake this task? I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught worthy of suspicion.
We have been entrusted with a task. Let us approach it with all due care.
Well, well. Yours isn't a face I'm accustomed to seeing around the palace. How did you get in here?
Oi! Who goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, 'tis you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, my lady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, my lady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. I don't appreciate having my motives questioned. I did as I saw fit. Need I say more? Still, you are welcome to come calling, should the fancy take you, and should you have the gold for it. Off you go now, if you...
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. It reads, "True to our word, we offer you the power of the Godsway. Pray make haste in securing Melv, that all might be made ready ere our plans are set in motion." A meager clue, to be certain. Though, 'tis clear that the Queen Regent conspires with Batal. This does not bode well at all. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermund and his neighbor in the past. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions. Chief among them, what is meant by securing Melv and this God's way? I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melv? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. Perchance it will help speed you on your way to Melv.
Phases. Now there's a name to remember.